like purple, like
There we
just
go.
purple shirts. So,
Bro, that's why I thought about getting the deep purple 12s because I got some LSU stuff. But I was like, the stuff that I got, I want to replace it anyway. And I
yeah,
was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get more purple, gold, white, whatever, because like lately I've been feeling like I want to buy more white t-shirts than any other color. So no matter the graphic on it, I want the base to be white. So I'm like, I don't know. Well, welcome in. We live.
we live, baby.
Keyz and Jermaine for Susio Sports episode number 27. Presented by Jail Blasters. I could point over the right shoulder. I just can never get it pointing directly like in that direction. This nigga gets lucky because he's on the other side, so he just points
And
up.
I still get it wrong every time.
Like you point over the right shoulder, you just good. You just go,
Every time
damn.
I be like,
put
your ones up.
Point in the right direction and then like make sure be too difficult, man. Fuck all that.
How's everybody doing though, man? It is we are at the end of March Madness. We're in April. I don't know. They ain't really gave it a name for April because it don't end in March. It just starts in March. But the majority of the tournament is March. The April part of it is like April.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know. April. It's just April.
It be
Mania season.
Yeah.
It's Mania week. All of our April sadness. Okay.
That's a good one.
No, that's a good one. That's a
good
fact.
one. Bro, another Cowboys fan. That's unfortunate.
Y'all good coming on here? This is dangerous. I talk shit. I'm not a regular Eagle fan either. I talk shit.
Hey, but it be like, bro, it be like this all the time because it's like I got two homeboys, right? One of them, he from New York, from Brooklyn. Other one, he from here, but he a Cowboys fan, grew up a Cowboys fan, and went to school up in Dallas. So he hardcore Cowboy fan, right? Bruh, to hear them two go back and forth, oh man, it is nothing short of awesome, dog. I promise you, I love that shit. I love that shit. Like, it'd be so funny just to hear the opposing fans go back and forth, and I just be sitting back like, at it. I'm loving the chaos. But nah, man, it'd be cool though. But it was past week. It wasn't that bad. It could have been worse.
Yeah, this weekend it was pretty good in sports all around.
Wasn't that bad?
No, it wasn't. We had good basketball, men's and women. Good boxing, good UFC. What else? Amazing games last night in the women's tournament. We currently have the men's McDonald's All-American game on. We're both watching it in the background while we talk to you lovely people. We got some good stuff coming up this weekend. WNBA draft is coming up. We'll probably preview that next week. Because let me make sure I'm looking at the calendar right. I know it's on the 15th. So yeah, we'll preview that next week because the draft is that following Monday. And then we'll discuss it that Tuesday.
I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I was supposed to be doing like show prep and stuff, but I had gotten to like I wanted a drink, but this bottle that I've been wanting to open, I'm not opening it till probably Friday for when I go to Fred's funeral because it was the last bottle that he gave me or whatever. I was gonna open that and share that with his brothers, his friends, and stuff like that. What up, Sloan? I opened up My homegirl Swan, shout out to Black Swan on Twitter. Swan gave me the 12 Days of Christmas a crown or something like that for my birthday a couple years ago, and I never opened it. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna open it. And I saw the different little shots of crown that they had in there, right? So I was like, what can I do with this? Like, I normally drink just regular Crown straight or one of the nicer Crowns, whatever, right? This is what I was looking up. So Specs has a shooter thing, and this is what I was looking up. Different shot glass mixes for Crown. Oh wait, y'all saw that? Did I share the screen? Here we go. This is what I was looking up. This right here. And this is the one. This one right. This is the one I ended up fixing. The pie a la mode, half vanilla, half apple. That's the one I ended up fixing. So I was pretty happy with that. Get over what? I'm supposed to get over. What you talking about? Corey always talking.
Hey man, I'm glad Corey here. You know why I'm glad Corey's here?
Shit.
You know why I'm glad Corey's here?
What's that?
Because he likes the Eagles. Corey's always welcome in the house.
Why not?
Corey is always welcome around these parts.
Hey,
Corey is a diehard Eagle fan like myself.
Hey, I should see. I was like, you know what? Maybe Key's gonna give him props for because Corey he went to Raw the other day.
Mm-hmm.
He had the old school WrestleMania 6 outfit on with the jacket and the two belts and shit. Yeah, bro, he put it together. I'm
about to look on her. I know he posted the picture, so I know it's on his
put
page.
it together. Oh yeah. Okay. So look, because Corey is like Shawn Michaels' #1 fan, right?
Oh, that's hard.
Corey is Shawn Michaels' #1 fan. So Corey still will not watch the main event to WrestleMania 14.
I'm probably number 2 right behind him.
Huh?
I said I'm probably number 2 right behind him.
Yeah, this is why I'm saying this.
Corey, this jacket is fire.
I'm a professional. I may not have a side job right now, but I'm still.
I don't know if y'all can see it fully, but that jacket is
let me see if I could. Hold up, I'm about to see if I can pull it up right quick on my Twitter. But no, so Corey was saying
I got some 5s that would go crazy with that.
He's such a fan of Shawn Michaels, he cannot bring himself to watch the main event of WrestleMania 14 when Shawn gives up the belt to Stone Cold. So what happened was I told Corey, you gotta get over it, bro. You gotta get over it. There's a picture of Corey with the WrestleMania 6, the hat, the jacket. And the key here, people, like if y'all don't peep game, the yellow title was the title that Warrior had going into that main event. You can see it right there on the promo pic because he switched it. You know, Warrior used to like to wear the crazy ass colors and stuff, the orange, blues. Warrior had, I want to say he also had a light blue one at one point. That yellow one, of course, and I think he had maybe one other one. But if you dip over to Wrestle Realm, the fellas over at Wrestle Realm, and follow Brandon Guy, the belt guy, Brandon, I think he may actually be live on YouTube right now. But Brandon has a belt show that goes over the history of all the different belts and whatnot. He'll be able to tell you more about all of that. But Corey actually has the belts that Hogan and Warrior had at that main event with the outfit and everything. So that's
what shoes you had on if you still here. Those are the Fruity Pebble LeBrons?
I think so. Because I couldn't hold up.
Let me zoom in. I think so. I know they're Fruity Pebble. I just can't tell if they're LeBrons or not.
I couldn't remember either, and I wanted to ask him that and forgot about it, and then I, kept scrolling or whatever, and didn't think about going back
Hey,
and
bro, I
asking
can
him.
only name like two
No,
people that have a that I know. I don't know no Corey, but I social
Mhm.
media know Corey, right?
Right.
Um, I can still only name two people that I feel like have a better shoe collection than me. Corey's one of them. Fruity Pebble LeBron four. Okay, I thought I be there. I be knowing.
Yeah.
Corey is one of them, and my homeboy Junie.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only two. Like I literally walked. Junie has two rooms. They just bought a new house like maybe a year ago, but he has two rooms that he had built onto the house just for shoes
Bruh, stop.
because he has two sons also. So he couldn't, they got a 4-bedroom house. So of course, two of the rooms are for his sons. His wife
Mm-hmm.
uses one room as an office. So he built on two rooms onto the back of the house just for
Oh,
shoes.
no. No. No.
So I'm trying to be like him. But yeah, him and Corey are probably the only people who have a
Yeah.
iller shoe collection than me. I get
Bruh,
jealous every time I
like,
see what they wearing.
I love that kind of stuff because like y'all be teaching me stuff. Like I got two homeboys, D Haynes and my homeboy Raul. Raul is the one who has the restaurant. Shout out to Kobo's Q. If you ever in Houston, go visit Kobo's Q. That's a free plug because I ain't even tripping about that because that's he been family since day one. But like um they started hipping me to some stuff, and then my coworker at work, he was hipping me to some stuff. Matter of fact, he gave me it's a Jason Kidd throwback, like a warm-up jersey, like the shooting jersey. I'm gonna
What
send
team?
you a picture of it. It's actually one of the baseball teams or something like that. I can't remember. I'm gonna send you a picture of it because I don't even know. I don't even know. It's orange and blue. It's like some Knicks colors. Is mainly orange with some blue on the writing and on the side of the sleeve or whatever. I'm gonna send you a picture of it later.
Is
But
that would that be is that the Suns?
no. It's not the Suns. It's some other shit.
Huh.
It's some other shit. Like I'll have to. I don't think I have a picture of it on my phone. I may have to look on. I don't even know where my work phone at. This is like across the room. But like once I find it, or once we get off, whatever, I'm gonna send you a picture of it.
Okay.
You'll see what I'm talking about. Because I only got one, like I got like 12, maybe 15 pair. Y'all got like 80, 50, whatever. I ain't got that many. I just started back like doing this like not too long ago. See, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know.
I gotta get rid of some. I just told my nephew for his birthday he can just go in my closet and just take 2 pair. But then I thought about it and I was like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit aside the ones that I really don't care about, which is only like about 4, and you can
Yeah,
pick 2 of those 4. Because
yeah,
if I just let him go in there, he gonna walk out with Travis Scott's, and I'm gonna be pissed off.
bruh. Like it's it's like I told my son because me and him wear the same size, and I told him just let Vin be Vin.
Hey,
We
but
just
I
let
like
Vin be Vin.
that wasn't what I
I
was
love Vin.
laughing at, but now that I see it, I am laughing at that. I was laughing at the next one. That's funny though. Blasting
Come
jail.
on, bruh. Like here he goes. Here he goes.
Hey Vin, I gotta use that one. I'm definitely using that one. Blasting jail.
Raised in hell. Hey,
Blasting jail.
take these 2 Crown bottles.
We gonna blast it.
Double shots at one time. But nah, like it's 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 like I just got back into it because I just felt comfortable like getting back into buying shoes and stuff like that. And I gotta be selective because I wear a size 13. So it ain't like they just got size 13s just
Hey
willy-nilly all
bro,
over.
even wearing a size 12, it's not easy. I've learned the art that makes it easy, but
Uh-huh.
it's still like it's tough. It's tough.
But look. Like it's one of the things. I'll set the alarms and stuff, whatever. If it's something that I know I want or whatever, boom, I got it. Hey man, we gotta look. We were supposed to do it tonight,
Yeah.
but we got caught up with some other stuff. We got to make sure we got everybody that followed, that did what they were supposed to do, and then we're gonna pick the winner next week. So I, because I'm a short dude, bro. I'm not that big, bro. I don't know where you get this idea that I just got a big foot. That's it. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm 5'10", 180. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But nah, like it's one. I want a pair of fives, but I don't know if I don't think I want the exact same pair of five my little brother had, but I know I want a pair of fives because I know he had a pair of fives that I wanted that I couldn't get. And that was one of the last pictures I remember having of him was him in them fives. And I was like, oh man, I'm gonna give me a pair of fives one. Give me a pair of fives one day.
That's how I feel. I'm not a fan of 13s. I hate 13s. I hate the way they look. I hate the way they feel. They bulky. I hate 13s. But my baby brother loved 13s. So
Yeah.
I usually cop 13s like depending certain colorways, but if I get them, it's like I'm getting them because I'm thinking of him as I'm like buying the shoe. But I never wear them; they just sit. So those will probably be the ones I let my nephew get. Like, here, your daddy had these here. He don't even know. I'm just gonna be like, look, these were your daddy shoes. I'm giving them to you.
I had the Wolf Gray 13s. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna bring these back because I'm not gonna wear these. Because I was like, they're white and gray. And I literally have like the Midnight Navy sixes. That's like all white with that Midnight Navy accent. And then I also have the Georgetown sixes, which is like the suede all gray with the regular royal blue accents. So it's like if I want white, I got white. If I want gray, I got gray. I don't need white and gray in one shoe.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I should just return these because I'm not gonna wear these. Like it, every time I would look at them, I would pick one of the pairs of sixes. And so I was just like, well, fuck it, I don't need them.
I think eights are eights are my favorite. If I had to pick one Jordan, definitely eights. I could wear eights for the rest of my life.
If I had to pick one to wear for the rest of my life,
like one number, not it ain't got to be one pair, but just
one line.
One line.
If
it
I
would
had
definitely be eights. Ones or eights.
I gotta go with the 12s. I gotta go, and I know they may feel a little bit bigger or bulky or whatever, but for somebody like me with a long ass narrow foot with a really high arch, those have pretty decent arch support to them, and I just like the way they support my foot and my ankle because I'm also old and I got bad feet and bad knees and stuff. So it's like I need a little sir. Next up, I would probably say 3s or 11s.
I think mine would be. It would definitely be ones and eights. Either order doesn't matter, but ones and eights.
Yeah. Now, see, I tried on a pair of the high ones, and it felt weird. So I thought I was gonna like the mids, and I really think it's just the sole, the way the sole of that shoe feels, because that's more for somebody that's more flat footed. Somebody with arch problems like me, my foot don't feel as comfortable in ones. But I mean, everybody got their preference though. Like I know some people like like you say, you like ones and eights. Like I know some people they like, well, I like 10s and whatever. You know, it's always, man, this taking this goddamn comment off. I put that comment up thinking it was something serious. But it's like I noticed like everybody has like besides Jordans, I know like Air Max.
I'm in the 97s and 98s right now. Those are my two. And
See,
ones. Air Max ones, they've been having some crazy colorways and Air Max ones lately.
and also the Vapor Max for me, the first time I tried on a pair, I'm hooked because of the way they fit my foot. I don't like the noise they make when I be walking in them sometimes on certain I mean, like, fuck it. It's just like the up tempo 96s. Just because I wanted a pair of the up tempo 96s like I used to have, but I never could get my size. And I'm not paying the markup that they had at that time to get the size and the colorway that I wanted. So when I saw they came out with the Volt color, I was like, I want a pair of the 96 up tempos. I want this Volt color. I really wanted the foam posit Volts, but they never would have my size. And I wanted the up tempo.
Those ones are a classic.
I want to say I had them in the all black with the white outline, the original ones. It was one of them. It was a pair of black and white. It was something like that I had, I think. I can't remember. But anyway, that's the ones I wanted. And they never could get my size. So I was just like, well, fuck it. I'll just get both.
Hey, Ant, they're not gonna let us talk Yankees in here right now.
Wait. Hey, nah. They're cooking. Cause look,
as much money as we spent, we better be.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. And this is what I told some Yankee fan, bro. Easter Sunday morning. It's if any day was the Lord's day, Easter Sunday morning should just be about peace, love, and just getting along. Yankees fans, the homies over at Backstage Brawl, they was talking shit. I was like, bet. You know, we going back and forth or whatever. We cool. Yankee fan wants to hop in and get fly. Hey, you barked up the wrong tree, homeboy, so I had to set this fool straight. He got mad, responded, and blocked me, so I couldn't see how he responded. I just saw how the homie Eric from Backstage Brawl, he was like, hey, we not doing that or something like that, he said. I was like, oh, bro, don't even worry about it. I said, because he blocked me and responded then blocked me, so I couldn't see his response. He was like, man, we just having friendly, back and forth. There ain't no need for all that. And I was just like, bro, look, don't even worry about it. I was like, see, when you start hitting them with them facts and they can't take that, because I was like, bro, y'all say this every year. Y'all say, hey, we hot. This our year is different, blah, blah, blah. I was like, every year it start off good.
It's like being a Dallas fan.
End up bad. Hey.
But I understand it because I'm a Yankee fan, so I get it. I can say that. I can confidently say that because I get it. As a Yankee fan, every year is our year. Every year is our year.
Wait, pause. I'm a Saints fan.
Every year is not your year.
For the better part of my life, I'm old. For the better part of my life, my team has not been good. I'm used to it. I've grown such a thick skin that it's allowed me to navigate this whole media thing without being a fan of any body or team that I cover or have a relationship, whatever. But it's like you just have to separate yourself from it, because if you don't, then all you're gonna be is a fanboy of whatever that team is, but you're trying to be impartial and you can't do that. And it's a lot of the times, a lot of these national media people, especially if you're gonna be broadcasting a game or something like that, you cannot be an obvious fan of that team and try to remain impartial. You just can't. Some of them do it great, some of them don't. Some of them make a bit out of it, like somebody like a Charles Barkley or somebody. He'll say he root for Auburn because that's where he went to school at or whatever. Like he'll say stuff like that, but everybody knows, okay, that's him. You know, nobody trips about that kind of stuff. But it's just like, yes, I am an Astros fan, House. I thought you knew this. But I don't know, man. It's just like I just think that it thickened my skin and allowed me to be a little bit tougher. And I don't be so sensitive about that kind of stuff. That's why I love the chaos, because most of my life, my favorite team has been trash. So I've lived watching other teams cry tears of we got screwed and this happened and that happened and blah 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 and whatever else. And it's like, hey, I don't care, because I look at what my teams have done over the course of my life and my fandom, and I'm like, I'm used to being disappointed. Y'all set up these great expectations for yourselves, and then when your team doesn't achieve that and you fall back down to earth, it hurts. We don't even get that far off the ground, so when we fall, it don't hurt that bad. And you just keep falling, you get used to it. It's almost like a wrestler when they start running the ropes. They stop getting bruises and calluses and stuff because their skin gets built up to it. Some of y'all run the ropes and you still get bruised up. That don't happen to us because we used to it. So that kind of let me to not be as sensitive as a fan and stuff. Like when people say stuff about my team, I'm gonna defend my team, but at the same time, I got to be honest about it. So I've had times where I've had family members who get mad at me. They'll ask me something about the Saints or the Pelicans or man, look, I got my homegirl, my son Swan used to get so mad at me when I would say something bad about the Texans, and I'm like, Swan, I have to be honest. I'm saying what I see. I'm not influenced one way or the other because I don't write or be on radio for somebody who's so associated with the team or anything. So it's like I don't have a tie to that team. They don't even give me media. They haven't given me media credentials in years. So it was a long time. Like I didn't have nothing to be biased about. Nothing at all. So it was just me giving my opinion. Now, if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. I'm gonna say what I see. Lately, they've been really good. They've given me a lot of good stuff to talk about. And so I've had a lot of positive things to say. And I kind of saw this coming from a mile away. I didn't think it would happen this year, but I saw this success definitely happen. But it's like sometimes people just need to be a little bit more realistic and take off the fan colored glasses and don't be so mad when somebody says something negative about your team. Because if you really look at it, 9 times out of 10, if they're not just on some hating type of shit, they probably telling you the truth and you just don't want to realize it.
They probably are. It happens a lot. I hear it. People tell me a lot of stuff about the Eagles that I'd be like, I don't want to hear that shit. Shut your ass up. But they be right. They do.
That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes you just got, it's like, hey, it is what it is. And look, this coming from a Cowboys fan. He keeping it real with y'all other Cowboys fans. And that's one thing I noticed about Dre. Other Cowboys fans get mad at him because he'll tell the truth. Him and our other homeboy Dustin, another Cowboys fan. Other Cowboys fans can't stand them because they tell the truth. Bro, the Pelicans, they didn't damn near figured it out this year. Like real talk, they didn't. The thing is, if they can stay healthy and they can play better defense, because they're a team where if they're not scoring the ball, they're probably not going to win that night. If one or a couple of those guys have an off night, they're not winning because their defense is not good enough. So to me, they need to rely more on their scoring. So they have to be clicking on all cylinders every night in order to make sure they're going to give themselves the best chance at winning. And unfortunately, it's like that for way too many teams in the NBA. But what I will say is I did notice that it feels like the scoring sometimes goes up and down. I haven't looked into it yet, but I wanted to look into like the overall scoring average, for the teams this year compared to like the last 5 to 7, maybe 10 years or so.
You think the numbers are higher?
I think it may be. I don't know. It because I saw or read a headline or something about the scoring is off or something like that. I don't know if it's higher or lower. To me, it feels like it may be higher.
I think so too, just
I
because
feel
I
like
feel
it's
like, and we talked about this around All-Star when they were talking about
Yep.
how do we change, how do we uh change the game.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching Mello podcast around the same time, and they asked him on there. There's really no answer. It's like offense is at an all-time high right now because we've got players in the league that we've never seen before. You know what I mean? Like now averaging 30, 40 a game is so normal. It's not a rare thing anymore where it was like a player scores 40 points and we like, oh my God, he scored 40 tonight. Now it's like, oh, he scored 40. Oh, okay. It's like LeBron scores 40 and it's just like, oh, okay, cool. That was a good night. That was a good night for him.
Yeah.
Like nigga
Like,
scores 60 and it's not a thing where it's like, oh my God, he dropped 60 points tonight. It's just, damn, that nigga had 60 tonight because that nigga went crazy. But
yeah.
it's kind of normal though. So
In like when I look at games and I see
right, Luca going for 47 is so normal. It's not
look,
even somewhere I'm like, yo, I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? Like,
bruh. Okay. Right now, Luka is averaging 34 a game, right? Embiid would be up there, but he hasn't played enough games to qualify because at one point Embiid was averaging like 35. So it's like when you hold up. I'm trying to look for the single, like the
but you know what,
I
Ant?
have to go
A
to the
lot of players are like that. There are so many players that don't use their energy on the defensive side of the ball. They do enough to stop the person they're guarding, but not too much to where they rely on the rest of the team for defense because offensively, it's on their shoulders. So
Mhm.
James Harden has been that way for the longest time while still winning defensive MVPs and being one of the top defensive players. But if you really look at it, Harden really don't play defense for real.
No, he really don't. And the thing is like Harden is one of those guys where he can play that kind of defense. He just doesn't. And it can be frustrating to watch him because like one of the things that people would always say about him down here in Houston is they would say like, oh well, he's one of the best defenders in the game when you look at the metrics and this and that. And it's
Embiid
like
came back tonight.
he was supposed to. Give me 1 second. I was.
I'm about to say that Total Dallas just said he led the 76ers over KC tonight. OKC.
Oh yeah, he did. He did. He sure did. I
Oh
passed
wow.
him because I was trying to see how many points a game he's averaged this year, and he was at 35 a game.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, he was averaging
I
35 a game.
I'm shocked he's back.
I skipped. Well, earlier I saw that it was a possibility. Um, I
I know
didn't.
I've definitely been reading that over
I,
the last like couple weeks.
it, and today is when I got a couple of alerts that it said he might come back or something like that, or like he was working out. It was something like they was alluding to he could possibly play tonight. I hadn't looked at anything since probably about maybe 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock earlier. So I hadn't even like looked to see if he was gonna play again. I forgot even what time they was gonna play. So to know that the game over with, he didn't play it already, and it's only 9:15 my time, 10:15 your time. Like I'm not surprised. I just lost track of it and wasn't paying attention.
Oh, this McDonald's game got close
Oh
again.
shit. Like wait, they said without Maxi. His field goal percentage this season is, give me a second, house. I believe it's like 60. Let me see. Where is it? Here we go. Blah, blah, blah. He's at 53.3% this year, field goal percentage. He's shooting 36.6 from 3 and 88.3 from free throw line. So he's about 3.5% away, about 2% away free. He a little bit, he damn near, he flirting, kind of sort of flirt with a 50-40-90 season as a, like, what, a 7 foot, 7'2",
Yeah, about 7'2",
280-pound center, and he flirting with a 50-40-90 season. Come on, man. Like that, he's the most physically dominant player right now in the league. And he can step out and shoot the three and shoot damn near 90% from the free throw line. Like, come on, man. That's not fair. That ain't fair at all. If Luka gets an MVP,
he at least needs 2.
Yeah, he's got to get
the numbers. The numbers he's putting up, scoring titles are cool.
Yeah,
Melo had a few of those. Like scoring titles are cool, but if you can't get MVPs or at least rings,
1 or 2 rings, you need. To me, you need at least 1 or 2 rings.
You think Luka gonna have to leave Dallas for it to happen though, or is he gonna be a Dirk Nowitzki, where he eventually gonna get one there? It's just gonna take him a minute.
I put it to you like this: I could see Luka doing more of the. I could see Luka being more Dirk. To be honest with you,
I can see that.
Because
most of the foreign players for real are loyal. They're pretty loyal, like, you know.
Well,
but the nature of the game isn't the same way it used to be. So it's not like how it was before, where that's where you were for life.
Mm-hmm.
Like they chose you chose them, and now it's like, all right, 3 years, I'm gone.
Right?
5 years, I'm out.
But wait, it's like
he had a kid. Congrats! I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did. He did have a kid.
Luka coming to LA. Oh man, I would love that post LeBron era shit. I'm gonna be honest. I think next summer, Trae Young. I think Trae Young leaving Atlanta. I'm gonna be honest.
Bro, I could see it happening because there's a lot of rumors out there about him, DeJounte, different trades and stuff like that, man.
Honestly, I think, and I hate to say this it's gonna sound crazy, where most people are gonna be like, what? DeJounte means more to the Hawks than Trae Young would.
You know what? I really hate that I'm trying to agree with you, but I want to. I'm just not quite there yet. It makes sense, and I can see where you're coming from. It's just, I think that Trae is can be more of a playmaker than DeJounte can. And the reason why I say that is because when you got guys like DeAndre Hunter and some of those other players on the wing that they want to develop, some of those younger guys coming up, even though all those guys are pretty much young, but like I just see them as like they not taking away from Murray or Young, but I just see those younger guys as like Jalen Johnson, DeAndre Hunter. I see those guys as like Bogdanovich is like a very nice role player and whatnot. I don't know, man. It's hard for me to put Murray above Young. And the thing is, it's not like Trey is having like a terrible season or nothing like that. Like he's having a decent season. He's just not having like the season that everybody expects him to have as far as his field goal percentage. I mean, his 3-point percentage is at 37%, which is still really good. His free throws is at 85.6. He's still averaging 26 and 11 assists. Like, you know, over a steal a game, like he's just shooting 42.6% from the field. But I mean, he's a career 43.6% shooter. So is he really having that bad of a season? Or is it just because he can't contribute to the Hawks winning as much as everybody would like him to? And so because the team isn't looking as good, now they're looking at Trey as you aren't playing as well. I mean, and I don't know. I'm not buying the whole Trey Young fell off thing. Like, because when you look at his numbers, he really hasn't fallen off. It's just that the team hasn't been doing as well. So you can say, like, you know, what is he contributing to them winning, and say that he's really not because he's not helping them win more. But I mean, look at the team around him. Is it really built to accentuate his talents, or is it just something that's, you know, you got a bunch of guys, you threw them together, roll the ball out there, and was praying for something to work?
Yep, and that's why they started trading people away, getting rid of people because they realized, okay, I
It ain't
think
working.
I'm gonna be honest. I think they traded a lot of the wrong people. Sometimes you invest so much money into one player that you feel like it's everybody else but him. Football does it all the time. Look at, and I'm not using him as, I'm using just as an example because of the money, not for anything else. But look at Dallas and look at Dak. You give him so much money, you invest so much money in him. It's very hard to put other pieces around him. You have to hope and pray that you're drafting right and drafting the right people around him.
Yeah.
And luckily on offense, so far, they have drafted the right people. They've had a couple, they've made great trades to bring in people, but you have to make sure that you're getting lightning in a bottle a lot of times when you invest so much money into one player. The Lakers also, same thing. They did that because investing all that money into Kobe for the longest time, and it gave them 5 rings overall, which is great. Most players don't even get that with one franchise anymore. So, you know, the fact that he was able to pull 5 out during his time is amazing.
Yeah. The other thing too with Kobe was, once I think they gave him teammates that he knew he could trust and that he also had to respect, or they respected him, or there was that mutual respect between the two of them, like Powell and all of them, when they finally started winning, and when Bynum had his head on straight and Lamar Odom was balling out and all that, when they had that team that was actually, you know, competing with the Celtics and then beating the Celtics, like, that's when Kobe didn't have a bunch of Smush Parkers and Kwame Browns around it. That's when he had guys where he felt like, I can go out there and ball out, and these guys are going to ball out with me, and I can trust them, and they obviously trust me. That's when you saw the real Kobe come out, because he was like, I can fully be myself. I don't have to be so, like, I don't have to be the main guy. I can just be, you know, I can be the man. I don't have to be like Superman. And I think that's when we finally saw Kobe at his true peak on those teams. But looking at the NBA, the Celtics again continue to run away from everybody. They're literally 12 games up on the Bucks in first place in the East. And they've already clinched the conference. Boston can literally lose every game for the rest of the season. There's only 5 games left?
Yeah, I think believe so.
And they're about 12. It's simple math. You know, but when you look at the East, there's only 4.5 games that separate the Bucks at the 2 seed from the Pacers at the 6 seed. 5 games separate the Bucks from the 7 seed Miami Heat. and they got about what? I think the Bucks have 11 games left, 5 games left, something like that. But everybody has between 5 and 10 games left, roughly. And so when you only got 5 games that separate the 2 seed from the 7 seed, you still got to be real careful as far as not falling off to end your season. But really the basketball of the weekend was really about the NCAA tournaments. And the men's was all right. It was all right. I mean, it wasn't really nothing to write home about.
Yeah, the men's was it
was really, really meh. Really meh.
I think the only game that surprised everybody a little bit was Duke and NC State. Not really for me being a Duke fan. I wasn't shocked. NC State got us in the ACC tournament. So I've been watching the way they've been playing. So NC State has been on a mean tear. So not shocked at all. UConn doing what UConn's been doing.
Bro, why my mama sent us this picture of this cake with this coconut on it? I hate coconut.
I do. I hate coconut cake. I like coconut. I just hate coconut cake.
Oh, bro, just let me close this, man. Just looking at that make me want to throw up. I can't stand coconut, bro. Coconut is fucking disgusting. Man, here he go with the conspiracy theories. Get out here, bro.
Nah, LeBron coming to us was what kept us relevant.
Exactly. No, man, House live in New York. Dre, House don't live in Houston.
He's a Patriots fan too. That makes it even worse.
Bruh, it makes it fucking 10 times worse.
Coconut tenders. Hold on now. What you talking about? Total Dallas coconut tenders.
Man, get this bullshit out of here. Coconut, bro.
I need. Hold on. I'm looking at it right now.
See, now my daughter started talking.
Coconut chicken tenders recipe. Hold on now,
bruh. Y'all about to make me vomit right here.
Studio. Coconut rum is my favorite rum. I'm
okay. Now we talking. I can drink coconut flavor rum. I can't do coconut fruit. Coconut. It's something about that texture.
Coconut chicken tenders. That's different. I'm looking at it like,
Let me see. I think I can find it. Hold up. Let me see. Pull it up.
I don't know. Jason Tatum is the best player in the NBA right now. I'm gonna say no because, and I hate this part. I really hate to say this part. There's a man that wears a Laker jersey that is still playing at a very high level right now.
Uh-oh. Is it? Go ahead and finish.
LeBron James is still the best player in the NBA until he retires. Damn, that hurt to say. That hurt. I'm about to throw up. I'm literally gonna throw up because I said that now. Yep. This show might be over. This show might be over. Show might be over tonight.
Hey, I just wanted to hear you say it. I'm an asshole. I know. I'm sorry. But I'm gonna say this. I don't
Booker
think
is
I'm not going there with Tatum.
Booker's he's Tony Romo. He's gonna give you amazing stats during the season.
Wow.
And he's gonna get to the playoffs and you're gonna figure out what happened to him. That's Devin Booker. See? Mid.
Like, my thing is
Booker is Jay Cutler. No, hold on. No, Jay Cutler got a ring?
I think
Then Chicago. Did he take Chicago to win? I don't know. Watch the Romo slander. Romo is the truth. The truth of what? The regular season?
Ooh.
The only quarterback y'all should really be praising, the last quarterback any Dallas fan should praise, is Troy Aikman. Because he got you a ring. Several.
Mm-hmm.
After that, the rest of your quarterbacks are who? Amazing regular season quarterbacks. Dak is an amazing. We're not talking about football right now. We're not doing this. Catch me in a couple months.
Hey, man, look. Football was good. We ain't had nothing to report on football. Except
it ain't.
Rasheed Rice is a dumbass.
Yeah. He turned himself in. Well, he's talking through his lawyer. He technically has not turned himself in yet.
That's all I got to say. Rasheed Rice is a dumbass.
Bro.
Yeah, that's it.
Dumbass. Yeah, that's it. Ain't nothing else. Football wise, it really ain't nothing else. The UFL kicked off this weekend.
Bro.
Yeah, that was really it. The UFL kicked off this weekend with the new league of the XFL and the what was it? The
UFL.
Yeah. They kicked off this weekend. So that was I watched the highlights. It was too much going on this weekend for me to catch the games, but we sure he was driving though. He was there. Even if he was just in the car as a passenger, he got out and left. That's still bad. Cars are registered in his name.
Wait. Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing about that. Body cam footage shows two men getting out the passenger side of the car. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a Lamborghini. So it's only two people can fit in a Lamborghini, right?
Was that that was the Lambo truck.
Okay. If it's the SUV, you could fit 4 people in there. 2 people got out the passenger side. He was the second person of the 2 people to get out the passenger side.
Mm-hmm.
Who would be the first person of 2 people riding in a vehicle that would get out the passenger side? Who would be the first person? Probably the passenger. Who would be the second person to come out the passenger door if 2 people riding in the vehicle? Who's the second person that's going to come out the passenger door? Probably going to be the driver. I mean, come on, bro.
Yeah, watching that footage, it's a blessing that it wasn't worse than what it was.
Bro.
But to just get out the car and just walk away like nothing happened, that's reckless. Like, you didn't even go check to see. The one thing I will always say about the Henry Ruggs situation, at least bro stayed and at least tried to help the young lady that was in the car when the car caught on fire from the accident. He at least was trying to get her out the car. You know what I mean? He easily could have hopped in another car or ran or whatever. He stayed and at least tried to help. It's still fucked up, but at least he stayed to help. To cause an accident and not even make sure anybody is fine, just hop out the car and just walk away like nothing happened.
Hey, come on. I'm not a horrible lawyer, because if I'm a lawyer in this situation, I'm calling the PR people and like, hey, how quickly can y'all clean this shit up? before I have to turn this motherfucker in.
There's no way to clean that shit
I
up.
need y'all to spin this shit like a fucking spin cycle, like that fucking machine that we got at work that you put the big ass rugs in and they take all that water out and they be damn near dry when you take it out. I need a centrifuge fucking spin on this shit. Like I need something. What Chris Carter said, everybody need a fall guy.
Yeah, and
where
when you the money,
fuck was his fall guy at?
Man, we ain't talked about it on here, but we were
Bruh.
I was in the space with Dre, you know, the Dark City or whatever that should be called. And we were talking about that because they were talking about like the Diddy situation and we started there, but it was just talking about when you're a celebrity and some shit happens, you're supposed to always have a fall guy because the money don't go to jail unless it's something very undeniable and the money gotta go. But the money never goes to jail, no matter what. Even if they caught a body, the money never goes to jail.
Bruh, come on, bro. Preach.
You can't stop the money.
Preach.
If you got to sit down for 10, go sit your ass down for 10. But the money don't go sit down for 10.
Preach. Because look, like, only thing I'm saying is, look, if he go down, how the rest of y'all eating? How the rest of y'all surviving? Who paying for everything? Who's popping the bottles? Who's going to the mall? I mean, you can just break it down to simple everyday shit. Who's buying the expensive lunch or dinner? Who buying all that shit?
Nigga, you go from eating steak, lobster, caviar, and whatever else expensive you want to eat to noodles. You free though, but you free. But you eat noodles.
House. If I hit the lottery, you're gonna be my fall guy.
Everybody, I mean, I feel like every rich person has to have a fall guy. Every very wealthy person, once you hit a certain tax bracket,
bro, you have to. It's imperative for you to
at least one
your wealth and your status and everything else that you got. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need somebody that's gonna be there for you no matter what. But at the same time, you got to have that person back because that person can't
commissary
for you.
Lit.
You know what I'm saying?
Commissary is fire,
bruh.
Holiday package packing.
Let me tell you, we had
got a flat screen TV on his wall.
We had a homeboy got locked up one time, and my contribution one time they were sending him stuff. I had some pictures, and I gave him a whole thing of pictures. I was like, man, just give them to him. Like, you sure? Like I got the, back then you had to get film developed or whatever. I was like, shit, I got I can go make some more if I want. Nah, send it to my dog. You know what I'm saying? Let him hold it down.
Now I agree. No Frico cases. You might be on your own with that one. It is. There are certain things. All right, let me not say that. There are certain things.
Hey, no Diddy.
The money gotta go down for. Like, let's go back to the Mike Vick situation. Mike Vick should have never went to jail.
Bruh, come on, man.
This nigga had the wrong family around him, not even friends. The wrong fucking family. There's no way Mike Vick should have went to bed. Somebody should have stepped up and said, hey, he gave me the money, but he didn't know what he was giving me the money for.
Come on. Like in
my I asked him for $5,000. I didn't really tell him what it was for. He just gave it to me.
Right.
He gave me access to the accounts to do that. But Mike Vick should have never sat down for a day because why? The money don't go to jail.
And that's bottom line. You could end the discussion right there. You could end the discussion right there. Right there.
That's always the best example in the world. Is that man should have never, and he learned a lot because why? He came home and said, fuck all y'all. Because he should have never sat down. But he did it. He sat down because he said, you know what? I funded it. Cool. I did. I ain't fight a dog. Nigga ain't fight a dog. Won't I don't even think he was there for any of the damn dog fighting. It was the fact that he was the money behind it.
Hey, Rand, don't you come here with that Yankee shit. We already discussed that earlier. But
Oh, he definitely was overpunished. They were making an example out of him.
They was trying to
Over
make
some
an example out of
hey
this
man,
bro.
I ain't gonna say what I really want to say because you know we still trying to grow this pod. I ain't trying to kill it, but nope, I said over a fucking dog, bro. Like the way, and I'm not saying everybody looks at their family different because there are a lot of people who feel like their animals are part of their family and they treat them the same way they treat their children. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It might be a little bit, but them people came down on him way too heavy and way too harshly over an animal. Because at the end of the day, unless it's a police dog, because you know they're sworn in as officers of the law.
That's a whole police officer you can kill.
Yeah, but other than that,
you know what I'm saying?
like I ain't saying dog fighting is right. I ain't saying it's wrong. I'm just saying for him only to be the money and him to have not physically fought a dog or physically been there while dogs were being fought. It's like you're making an example out of him just because.
Right. And that's my thing was like, why do you feel the need to make an example out of this man? Because y'all got him red-handed and y'all see how his people flipping and turning on him and everything. Because they ain't got nothing to live for or whatever. So if they go down, it's like, fuck it. I'm going down. Well, if they got me red-handed, but they say, hey, if you flip on your man, we'll give you less time. Because that's what they really wanted. They just wanted him. All the people who was doing all the shit that he was accused of, it was the people at the lower level.
I don't even think they went to jail.
He was paying.
I don't think any of them went to jail.
But I mean, you know what I'm saying? The dog fight is one of them things. Look, they not ready for that conversation yet, Randy. They not ready.
That's a talk for another day.
They not ready for that conversation.
Big Blood Hernandez, cuz.
They not ready. They are not ready for that conversation.
Aaron Hernandez was this nigga in college was the Big Blood and nobody knew it.
Wait.
Some people didn't know it.
Some knew. I know somebody that knew somebody that was close to the situation or whatever that like, yeah, it's been like that for a minute. For quite a while.
He don't even look like it. That's the wild part.
He may not look like it, quote unquote, but nah, that like knowing what I know now and looking back at him, you can see it. You can see it. You can definitely see it. If you go back and watch some old, like knowing what you know now, go back and find some old video of him and look at his eyes and the way he be looking sometimes. You can see it. You can see it, bro. Like, no. Like, and I tell people this willingly. I'll be like, I didn't know it then. But knowing what I know now, going back and looking at that dude, you can just feel like something ain't right there. Something is not right. And it's crazy because it's see, that's what I'm saying. It was a lot of people that knew, but it was a lot of red flags that was ignored because of his talent as well. So hold up. This is the comment I was trying to put up there.
Yep, that one. Yep.
Right
that's why my eyes got wide.
Yes. We're gonna put it all the way out there on Front Street. That's exactly what he was. A crazed bisexual gangbanging murderous fool. He was literally, bruh. Hernandez was like a real life like Tubi movie come to life. Except he was Hispanic. He was like a real life Tubi movie. So when you hear about all the stuff that he was doing and everything, it's like you know people like that, but they never make it to that level of success on the athletic field. He was just one of those guys that end up making it, as the high school star, made it past that and got to college, and then made it past that to the pros, and actually was successful in the pros. Like he achieved the level of success like that type of psychopath doesn't normally achieve.
Yeah.
It's basically what I'm trying to say.
And the fact that he's on the Patriots in the NFL with the money and still catching bodies.
Bruh, like
it's
that's,
man.
That's when you know it's more of a mental thing than anything. It's like a rush. It's like a drug almost that they get, that like they seek that high and that adrenaline pump from that activity, from that living that type of lifestyle or what have you.
This man made it to the pinnacle, the highest level, and is playing for the best team in the NFL at the time. And he's still outside of football catching bodies.
Hey man, look here, bro. I don't even want to imagine what that party would have been like.
It's nasty work, yeah.
Because it was, bruh.
It's nasty work, man.
Bruh. This is why I say House is like one of the funniest people I know, and he don't even be fun. He just be saying whatever come to mind. And he be so serious about it too. And he like, if that was a thing that was going on right now today, and we know about Diddy, and we know about Aaron Hernandez, and there was a party with them two, I guarantee you House would want to go still, just to see what it's like. Yes, he was the real life Chappelle skit. Hey man, come on, bro. Hey, did you see that video where that comedian was talking about that? 50 Cent had retweeted. 50 Cent had put it out there.
Andrew. Oh, dang, I mean to.
I can't remember his name, but yes, he has the thick mustache or whatever.
Yeah, I think I sent it to. I might not have sent it to you on Instagram.
No, I can't remember. I want to say one of y'all shared it or something. Andrew Schultz. Yes.
Yeah, Andrew Schultz. Yeah.
That's it. Yes. Bruh.
Nah, that Andrew Schultz is also hilarious, bro. Like, he found his lane of comedy and he's fucking hilarious.
Bruh, I've seen that guy clips before, but when I saw that one, I was like, yeah, he got something. He got something. But man, like we held it off long enough talking about everything else beating around the bush. Bro, last night was so lit.
It was.
It was so lit. And
very.
And I was excited simply because it was one of those things where like you finally, like, and most people was saying, hey, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that, blah blah blah. Like I'm just gonna, I'm gonna watch this, I'm gonna be paying attention to that. I was like, nah, I'm gonna watch everything. Like I want to watch all of it. Like, well, how are you gonna do that? Like, hey, look, I'll figure it out. I got 2 TVs. I'll make it happen. So what I ended up doing was I took TV and TV Junior and I went ahead and put them both up there. There it goes. And so I was able to watch both. So I had Monday Night Raw on TV Junior, and then I had the games on Big TV, just to make sure I could keep an eye on both. It was cool to like kick it like that. And it was just, I was way more excited to watch those women's games than I have been for the men's games in a long ass time.
Yeah. And it's so crazy because with Caitlyn leaving, potentially, because I didn't see if Angel had made a decision. I know she had up until either last night or tonight to make her decision. But her leaving, but you look at the freshmen that have come in, the sophomores that have stepped up, you're still going to get a lot of these same stories next year because a lot of the players I can agree. I definitely can agree. It's still, you're still going to get that same drama next year.
Oh,
like
what?
This is something that's not going to stop now. Like I think people are realizing women's basketball is here and it's here to stay. And I'm hoping and I'm praying that this translates over to the WNBA, that it's not just in college, that these numbers that they're putting up, as far as viewership, as far as like the sellouts in the stadiums, that this translates over to the WNBA. I think the one thing the WNBA may need to do is they got to realize they're not going to put up the same numbers as the NBA.
Right.
So they may need to scale down their arenas instead of playing in the same arenas as the NBA players. And I want them. I wish they could put up those numbers. So I definitely don't want to say like they can't do it, or I wouldn't want them to do it. I want them to put those numbers up. I want them to be able to play in the same arenas as the NBA players and be able to sell out or put damn near just as many fans in seats as they do.
Yeah.
And I definitely think it's coming. I think the NCAA, and we've talked about this before, where I feel like the NCAA tournament or NCAA women's basketball in general is helping with that. We just have to hope that it translates over to the WNBA.
They definitely need to look at how MLS did it. What you do is you start off small and you try to sell out just the lower bowls of those arenas first. And you just make those tickets available. And once you sell out that lower bowl, then you start opening up tickets to the upper levels. So that way,
Blackout.
When your optics, when you're shooting on TV, you're going to have that one side. And you almost need to do it like how wrestling does it, where they sell out the hard cam side. Because that's where most of your camera shots and stuff are going to come
on that side and not the back side.
Right.
Because the back side you're not seeing.
You need to sell your tickets to your TV audience. So however you're going to shoot those games, that's how you need to open up those levels and sell the tickets. Because you're not going to always sell out 15, 16,000. You may get at least 5, 6, 7,000 or so. So you know what? Let's maximize that 7 or 8,000 we may average a game and see where we can put everybody so it looks good on TV. So that way at least gives the optics that we have all these people at our games. Now the thing is, with women's college basketball, what they've done, they've taken the women and their personalities and marketed these women as personalities on teams. And they've kind of said, hey, you know what? Fuck it, let's ride the wave. And we got a Juju, and we got a Paige, and we got a Caitlyn, and we got an Angel, and we got we got all these people. We got a Camila Cardosa. You know what I'm saying? We got these characters on these different teams. Let's make them stand out, and let's put them at the forefront of what we're going to do. Hey, Camila, if you're listening, my brother he likes to climb trees. And
very much so. 6'7".
He loves Brazil.
Been to Colombia.
And I want to say he on Duolingo trying to learn Portuguese right now. I promise. I promise.
But to what you're saying, I agree, because if you think about it, all season, and it started last year, but all season, all you've heard about is you don't really hear about the teams until you're like watching the game. But going into it, you hear more about Angel than anybody else on that LSU team.
Right.
Where nobody's talking about how Flau'jae has put that team on her back all season.
Come on, man.
Nobody's talked about how up until this last game, Anissa Morrow and Michaela Williams have been balling the fuck out.
Balling.
When you look at USC, everybody's been talking about Juju, rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
But up until the tournament, now everybody was talking about Forbes because Forbes stepped up and was killing it from the Pac-12 tournament going into the NCAA tournament. When you look at Iowa, it won't just
Caitlin
Clark. It was Marshall and Martin, and even Starkey in the hole. Like they had other players on their teams that were doing amazing.
As a matter of fact, this last game, Affolter stepped up big time in this game against LSU. I want to say when I looked at it, she ended up with 16 in this game and was 5 of 10 from the field, 2 out of 3 from 3, and hit 4 out of her 6. I mean, 4 out of 6 ain't great when you're shooting free throws, but I mean, shit, you made 4 out of 6. It could be better, but I mean, like she stepped up big time. Like she only averages, I want to say, like 8 or so a game this year. She had 16 in that game. So, like when and I remember a couple episodes ago, we were saying how they talked about at first it was Juju and the what they call them, Juju and the Nerds or something like that.
Juju and the Ivies.
Then now they start calling Juju and the Ivies, the 3 Ivy League transfers. And I mean, when you look at that team, and Juju even said it herself the other night, even though she had 30 something, but she was on like 8 of 28 shooting, and she had like 12 free throws made or something like that. She was like, I didn't have a great game. It took, all of what I did, but my teammates, and she gave those girls props. She was like, I didn't really have that great of a game, even though I scored 30. It was really my teammates. And she made sure she shined the light on her teammates because she knew, like, I was just putting up shots. They held me down. And it's that kind of mentality and that kind of unselfishness from the superstar player on your team that's going to trickle down to everybody else. And when your top player is that, that
the freshman.
Exactly. The star freshman with all the NIL deals and all the attention and the magazine covers, TV, all of that stuff. The freshman, the star, whatever. But she's still humble enough to say, hey, you know what? My team. And
I definitely agree. Juju was gassed. She wasn't the only one. LSU was gassed.
Yes.
They both of those teams got outworked. We talked about this last night, but I don't like San Antonio. I've never been a San Antonio Spurs fan. The way that Iowa and UConn played last night, that game this weekend is going to be, oh my God, the way they're going to play their games.
We're going to see? We're going to see women's college basketball executed on a really high level because what I saw from both of those teams last night was they executed well. And they not only executed well on defense, but I feel like they also executed well on offense.
Yep.
And I saw just
the ball movement, the passing. I'm talking about everybody touched the ball before a shot went up.
And look,
everything our coaches used to tell us in high school and in rec league. That's what I saw yesterday from both teams. It was pass, shot.
Moving around.
Was drive down, layup. It was catching the teams off balance. Not even just off guard, but just off balance for the way you're running. You're not running straight up. You're running cat corner. You know what I mean? Like, it was amazing ball last night, executed on the next to highest level. And I damn near might say highest because they play the coach is saying run the But that's how but I'll say that's more or less how LSU was playing. But Kim just won't say it. Kim looked so disappointed yesterday because it was just like, y'all know what y'all need to do. Y'all know
Right,
how to play. I shouldn't have to tell you anything.
bro. But this was my thing yesterday, and I know you and I had talked about this, especially earlier. It was more on LSU taking bad shots and
Mm-hmm.
forcing it. And then when they would get good shots or easy shots, they were missing gimmies, layups, and they couldn't finish in the paint or finish under the basket. And that's where they really faltered, was that they just did. And people were trying to talk about this earlier on a Facebook sports group page, and I was just like, nah, let's not just throw out narratives just for the sake of throwing shit out there, okay? Because LSU had, I want to say it was like 30 offensive rebounds. I only had 6, right? LSU, let me just go to the page. LSU ended up having they shot 38.6% from the field. Iowa shot 46. LSU made 8 threes, Iowa made 13. LSU was 11 of 17 from the free throw line. Iowa was 17 to 22.
No, the
LSU
thing.
out rebounded them by 18. The turnovers were virtually the same. LSU had one more turnover than Iowa. But you can't look at and say, well, that's a coaching thing. Well, coaches don't miss shots. Now, the coach could put you in a better position to make a better shot. But if you're not executing what the game plan is and what your coach has you out there doing, then can you really blame it on the coach?
Only thing I blame Kim for is she kept deferring to Van Lith and Powell way too much, where she should have been looking at her bench like, who's ready? And I get it. And that at that point in the season, if I ain't did it, or if I didn't do it early, why do it now?
Mm-hmm.
But when you see Haley and Powell getting killed, you're watching both. You're literally just trading them in and out of the game like every 2 minutes. At some point, it's like, all right, both of y'all about to sit. I'm about to look on this bench. I need something. I need a spark.
Cause and look at this. LSU only played 7 players where Iowa played 8.
Yep. Because the only reason that one girl got in was because Angel had rolled her ankle.
Del Rosario, she came in
Yep.
at the last minute.
That was the only reason she got
Oh,
in
no.
the third.
Del Rosario came in after Angel had fouled out.
No, she came in before
She
she
came
fouled
in
out.
earlier, but then remember, Angel came right back in the game.
And she went right back to the bench.
Yeah, and she went right back to the bench because they had it was like I want to say it was
Literally a
it was either a
person
timeout
rotation.
or a TV timeout or something. And then Angel came right back in. It was the gameplay was only like a few seconds or something like that went off the clock. But it was because there was that stoppage in play when she came off the court. Gameplay restarted, and then it was either a called timeout or a TV timeout or something. And then once they came back from commercial, she was back on the court. But she ended up fouling out with, I think, like a minute and 40 or so left in the game, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I know Del Rosario had to come back in the game after Angel had fouled out.
And other than that, like, and then on UConn side, those girls played that starting 5 played the entire game.
Well, it was Martin, Marshall, and Clark. They pretty much and Altoffer. They played. Stulke, I want to say, yeah, she ended up fouling out. She was the one that got in foul trouble. I want to say early.
She usually does, to be honest.
Yeah, I want to say she was the one that Angel got in foul trouble early in the game. And that's when Angel.
No, I was talking about on the UConn side. Their starting 5 played the entire game.
Oh, no. On the other game.
Mm-hmm. played the entire game. Nobody else played.
No, they had 2 bench players that played. One played 19. Because remember, they had somebody that got in foul trouble too.
Oh yeah, we were
Arnold.
talking.
Arnold. I want to
Yeah,
say
she
it was
did get
Arnold
in.
or Mole. One of them two, because both of them ended up with 4 fouls. I can't. It was one of them two.
I know
No,
they
no,
didn't
no, no,
take.
no. It was Arnold because Arnold only played 26 minutes. Mole played all 40. Mole, Beckers, and Edwards played all 40. Arnold played 26 and she
Yo,
played 21.
yes, the girl with the yellow braids and the face mask,
Yeah,
hooping,
what's her first name? Aaliyah
hooping,
Edwards. Aaliyah, that's her name. Aaliyah Edwards.
hooping.
Bruh, she
She know,
was. I,
she know
I
ball.
first recognized her. I want to say it was last year after Ozzy Fudd went down. When Beckers or whatever went down the year before, or when Ozzy Fudd went down like last year or something like that. That's when I first noticed Aaliyah Edwards because I was like, how is UConn still balling out? And I was like, okay, who's the girl with the? And I used to call the what you call it, the Boston from South Carolina. I used to call them the
Aaliyah
Boston
Boston.
braids. Yeah, who's the Aaliyah Boston braids? Well, it's Aaliyah Edwards over at UConn. Pretty similar player, but bro, like she's another one of those really smart players who just like she's gonna use her size and her long arms to disrupt things on the defensive end. But she knows like footwork and positioning and whatnot, and she got some moves on the offensive end in that post. And you and I have talked about this all the time. And I remember I want to say you drove this point home last week or week before last when we talked about some of the other games. Was that in the women's game, it's really based inside out. And if you have a dominant or at least a semi-dominant post player, your whole offense works a whole lot easier and is a whole lot more effective as opposed to in the men's game where it's more perimeter and athleticism based. And that holds no truer than all of these teams that played last night with LSU and depending on Angel Reese and Anissa Morrow to get things going. When you look at UConn with Aaliyah Edwards, I know Paige Buckers is a guard, but I mean she's 6 foot. And especially when you look at USC, when you look at Forbes and Juju is a guard, but Juju's 6'2". You look at Mackenzie Forbes, and Mackenzie Forbes is another 6 foot guard. You know, so it's not like she's like some little 5'8", 5'7" guard. She's 6 foot. So when you have these taller players who can play in the post and on the perimeter in the women's game, it makes them that much more dangerous and it makes your team that much more flexible. And it just makes the game a lot more fun to watch because you have such good players. And the way the game is played now, and we talked about this, is played from the inside out, but they can also play from the outside in. And that's pretty much what Iowa did last night. They beat LSU from the perimeter. And I'm looking at it now. Martin was the other guard. Yeah, Martin had 21. I remember you said she did do. She was lights out.
I think she had 21 and Marshall had 19.
No. What's her name? Affolter was the one who had 16. Clark had 41. Martin had 21. It was Affolter. That was the one who only averages like 8 a game. She was the one that stepped up. Marshall was just there for like she was playing. She didn't really like. She showed up on it. She had what 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, a block.
She was more on the defensive side for
Only
real.
had 3, bruh. 3 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Like, but it was the way she hounded LSU's guards and forced them into turnovers and stuff all night. You don't like when you get a deflection or you force a person into making a bad pass, that don't show up on the stat sheet. There's no stat for forced turnovers in basketball or deflections in basketball. Like there is like a pass breakup in football. You don't get that in basketball. And it's stuff like that that players like Marshall did last night when she was like, okay, look, I know I'm not about to score my 10, 15 points a game tonight. Let me see what else I can do to affect winning. And that's what she did. And I love when players can say, okay, you know what? This isn't working tonight. I'm going to resort to doing this and see what I can do to affect winning still. And that's exactly what she did. And it's a good thing to watch, man, when you see players who will humble themselves and be like, hey, you know what? It may not be my night. It may be somebody else's, but fuck it. I'm going to do what I got to do to see what we can do to win. But we get NC State, South Carolina on Friday.
Which is going to be amazing because NC State played them very well when they met during the season.
And then we get after that, we get UConn, Iowa.
It's going to be an amazing game.
This is like to me the first the Final Four is like to me it's like WrestleMania night 1. Like you get a lot of stuff that you didn't really think you would see, at WrestleMania, and it's a lot of people that's going to be there. It's going to be like some casual fans, and it's just a spectacle. It's on a Saturday, so if you want to fly out the next day, you can fly out and leave, but you still want to be in the building because you don't know what you're going to get. They're trying to draw you in for the second night.
SC is under the radar because we expect them to be what they've been. They've had some dog fights, but they've pretty much whooped everybody's ass all season. They've had some very close games that they probably should have lost. That Tennessee game where Cardozo hit that 3 at the buzzer, game was over. Look, if you want to be honest, game was over. She got lucky on the 3.
Bro, look.
That's not even her game. That's the crazy part. That's not her game at all. So they literally got lucky on the 3. That's one loss. They have a couple more that are just like that were very close games that they won by 1 point. That right. No, Dawn is showing she's an amazing. She went from an amazing basketball player to an amazing coach.
A badass coach.
Right.
And I think what Gino Auriemma has been able to do to just maintain there at UConn.
Oh my God. To stay relevant.
Bruh.
After all these years, even one, he'll have maybe one down year and be right back up the next.
And typically those down years came because of not only just one, sometimes at least one, but maybe 2 or 3 injuries to some of their top players.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even like
Becker. Becker being injured. This, I'm gonna be honest, I kind of like looking at the last 4 now. I want to see South Carolina and UConn. I also want to see South Carolina and Iowa just because of last season, and they met in the Final Four to go to the championship.
Yeah.
I don't hate to say this, but I don't really care to watch NC State play anybody. Like, I'm glad they there. Like, shout out to NC State women. Like, I'm so glad they're there, them and the men. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to see them go any further. Because even on the men's side, the men's side, I think I do want to see NC State make it. I kind of do. I ain't gonna lie.
I can't wait to see
because who's
DJ
on the men's
Burns side? Against Zach Edey.
Yeah, because it's Purdue and NC State, right?
Yeah. You get the 2 opposite ends of the big man spectrum.
You got the big and the little big.
You got the freakishly tall guy, that got a little size to him. And you got the guy who looked like, hey, if he don't make it in the NBA, he could probably play in the NFL. So
definitely is an offensive tackle.
Bruh. I put it to you like this: bare minimum, he should be like a red zone option as a tight end, like one of those blocking tight ends that will flare out for like a little fade or something like that. I just think that kid is at what, like 6'7", 275. DJ Burns, like you gotta find some way to take advantage of that size and that athleticism on the football field. I mean, you got to figure out something.
Yeah, UConn, Alabama, NC State, Purdue is going. I think the sleeper picks is at Alabama, NC State. That would just throw the entire tournament off. And at that point, I don't know who would win because I like Bama.
Bro, I
I
think
like Bama. I like who
Bama would
Bama
end up
got.
winning that game because I think ultimately in the NCAA tournament, especially when you get down to the nitty gritty, it comes down to guard play.
Yeah.
And I know the big men have been dominant for NC State, Purdue, and for UConn as well, because UConn is probably the most balanced team in college basketball we've seen over the last couple of years, not just this year. But I just think that when you get down to it like that, and that guard play that Bama has that over NC State, I think that will start to take over. And I think that they would intentionally let Burns go off and try to contain Diarra Diarra from helping out on the boards and whatnot, and just letting those guys do what they do, shutting down those guards, and then fouling those big men and making them go to the free throw line. And it would be, shut down their guards, crowd their big men, foul them, make them go to the line, don't give them any easy layups. And that's would be their game plan. And I think that they would end up winning that game like that. As far as like what I really see happening, I could see I think UConn is gonna. I don't see where Bama can beat UConn. I just don't see UConn losing that game. I ultimately see UConn winning it, but who they're going to beat, either Purdue or NC State, really is going to deal on can NC State do anything to keep Zach Edey out of the paint. If they feel like Burns can push him out of the paint and keep him from catching the ball within 6 to 8 or so feet of the basket, then they have a chance. If he can't do that, or he can't stay out of foul trouble or whatever, then Purdue is going to walk on, and we're going to get a chalk, 1-1, Purdue versus UConn. And I really see UConn ending up winning that game right there. As far as the women is concerned, man, I really think it's going to be UConn, South Carolina, simply because I don't see South Carolina dropping that game to NC State. I see them wanting to prove a point and make sure that game isn't close. I also see I just like Paige Beckers. Sorry, chat, I ain't been paying attention. I've been looking at the other screen. Personally, I just see Paige Beckers as a really good defender, and I think that she would want to do the same thing like she did against USC and take on the assignment of guarding Caitlin Clark. And I think that she may not be able to stop her, but I think she'll make things really tough on Caitlin Clark. And I think that she'll go ahead and give her a hard time. UConn can't stop. No Diddy. No freaky stuff. We're not doing that. But you pick UConn over Purdue in your bracket. I'm not even gonna say who I had in mind. My champ got knocked out. Like, it is what it is. Like, I don't even think my is my women's champ still? I don't think my women's champ is still in there either. Both of mine was like terrible. This was the worst year of brackets that I've had since it may have been that year like George Mason made it to the Final Four, if I'm not mistaken. Whatever year that was. I want to say it was like that year, and maybe the year when Melo won it with Syracuse. I think those were like two of my last ones when I just had just like awful, I mean, just god awful brackets. When is you going to look? They've had scoring before, but if you look at all of these teams that are left on the men's and women's side, they all have somebody that they can go to and get a bucket in the clutch.
And can shoot that three.
Every single team. When you look at the women at NC State, what's that girl's name, man? I gotta look it up now because I can't even remember her name. Hold up, I'm about to find it right now. Asia James. Couldn't think of her name. Asia James. I almost said the other one named Sanaya because my cousin, one of her daughters named Sanaya. She just had a baby, so she's my cousin's grandma now. But anyway, but no, like you got Asia James for NC State. Shit, you pick a player for South Carolina. I mean, goddamn, like you can pick anybody for them, but normally their offense goes through Cardosa, and whatever Cardosa does, it's built through that, and they just play off of her. But Pow, the little guard, like she kind of reminds me of how their coach Dawn Staley used to play when she was a player.
And Dawn has said that so many times that Powell reminds her of herself.
I put it to you like this. When I started like really paying closer attention to it was like later in the season, SEC tournament, like in the NCAA tournament. It's been like the last month or two is when I've really like kind of paid attention to it, and I really do see it now. Because at first I just thought she was just being a good coach, you know, and she's got this all 5 new starting lineup, and you know she got some returning players, but the whole starting lineup is gone, and a lot of them moved on to the WNBA and whatnot. And it's like she went undefeated. She's still undefeated at the Final Four right now. And it's like it's a testament to what Dawn Staley was doing. So I'm just thinking, oh, she's just paying homage to her player and she's trying to prop her up and everything. But then the more and more I watched the girl, she wasn't lying. You look at what you call it? The other women's game. You got UConn with Paige Beckers and Leah Edwards, and then you got obviously Iowa with Caitlin Clark and Martin and those other girls. But then you look on the men's side, in NC State, you got DJ Burns. Matter of fact, DJ Burns Jr. right now is on SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt talking to him.
Yep, watching it right now.
I mean, a walking bucket. Then on the other side, you got Zach Edey, you know, 7'3", 7'4", you know, 270, 80 pounds or whatever. It's like a freaking statue down there. If he gets the ball within 6 feet of the basket, look, he's scoring. You're not about to stop him. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Then you look at UConn is one of the most balanced teams that we've seen, like I said, over the last few years, because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys that average double digits on that team. So it's not like you can say, okay, stop Newton, stop Klingen, stop. No, they're gonna get the ball to whoever is there, and whoever's gonna do what he's gonna do. You look at Alabama, you got Sears, and Sears is averaging what, 22 a game right now. So but the thing is, as a guard, as a 6'1" guard, averaging 22 a game, that's great. But the kid shoots 50% from the field. To me, that's the most impressive stat in all of his stats right there, is that he's a 6'1" guard that's averaging 22 a game, but he shoots 50%. He's not averaging or shooting 42%, jacking up 25 shots to get them 22 points a game. No, he's doing it efficiently. And that's something that you rarely see on the college level, is a high volume scorer doing it efficiently. You don't really see that. If a guy's averaging 22 a game and he's a guard in college basketball, he's not shooting more than 45% at the most. And this kid's shooting 50. That's something that some big men don't even do in college basketball. So kudos to him. But I just think that honestly, the women's Final Four is a lot more exciting because there's a lot more star power on that side.
Star power, stories. It's so much. It's that combination of either SC versus Iowa or SC versus UConn, and even NC State being a sleeper against one of those two.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still so much story there. Iowa and UConn are so evenly matched that people don't realize that
Mm-hmm.
it's really going to come down to Caitlin. It's not even going to be come down to Caitlin and Paige, because they're going to get theirs. You know, they're going to get their buckets. They're going to do what they do assist wise, all of that. It's going to come down to the role players with them, the bigs, the bench. If the bench is used,
Mm-hmm.
that's what it's really going to come down to. Who makes the first mistake? Who capitalizes off that mistake? Who makes the next mistake? If is it back-to-back mistakes by the first team, by the same team? It's so much that's gonna play its part in that game. That NC State SC game, also same thing again. NC State probably played SC the best anybody has played them all year outside of the LSU games. Um, outside of them. So it's gonna be amazing Friday. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I can't, bro. I can't wait.
Also, did you see I know this is days late, but we're days late because we only do this once a week. Uh that LeBron's man, Drew, is the head coach at Duquesne now.
Yeah, I did see that, man. I did see that. Drew Joyce. Yeah, I
Yes,
did.
sir.
Man, that's dope. But he
Hey,
was the
LeBron.
point guard on those teams when they were
Mm-hmm.
at St. Vincent St. Mary's.
Hey,
And
Drew, people talk. That's another thing. What that might be for another day to like fully talk about this and go into it. But when you look at them St. Vincent St. Mary teams,
mhm.
it's like you said, it's the star power of LeBron. People don't talk about the
but
friends enough,
but
man. The
but
rest
you
of that
gotta think
team
about it
is
though.
crazy.
Like in that starting lineup, you had of course LeBron, Drew Joyce, who was actually the coach's son, because his dad was their coach.
Mm-hmm.
You had
And Drew
Romeo,
is like a six man for real
right?
for a while.
You had Romeo Travis, who got a scholarship, I believe, to Akron.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had I think his name's Cian or Sean Cotton. He got a scholarship playing football, but was on the basketball team. And then you had, I think there was one or two more guys that were on that team. I know for sure that year that ended up with scholarships.
Yeah,
Uh,
you had
so
Drew, you had LeBron, you had Romeo.
CN got one for
Um,
football, but I mean he was on the squad, so call it what you want. But like it's just like I just that team had some talent to it. So it's like he got into coaching. I was like, okay, that makes sense. But because he got into coaching and he wasn't like an NBA player or a high level college player for a long time or anything like that, or it wasn't like he got this because of LeBron.
mm-hmm.
The opportunities and everything that he created for himself, he got catapulted. He wasn't in LeBron's shadow for the longest. Like he built that on his own. And so I love the fact that he's getting recognized on his own for being his own man and doing all of that. And it's like, you can, because like some people will try to say like Maverick Carter or whatever. Oh, and that's just because he's LeBron's boy. They'll try to attribute his success as an agent and it's like, you know what? I, I could see that being the case. But at the same
Some of it.
it's
I
like
mean, that's
he
just
still
life
got to
though.
get
Some
out
of it is
on his own because you can't just say, "Hey, I'm LeBron's boy. Come do business with me."
that gets him in the door. That I ain't going. I'm never going. I ain't. I'm not. He can't. I'm not. Being LeBron's friend is for sure getting you to the table.
Oh,
It is for
definitely,
sure getting you to the table.
definitely,
But what's keeping you at the table is what you bring to the table. You know what I mean?
right.
So, and everybody around him, he makes sure not. where he's giving them money or whatever, but he's definitely making sure they're in position to do what they need to do. And once he puts them in position, it's up to them to either stay in that position or elevate themselves. But he's always gonna make sure his boys is like is in that room, and I love that because that's how it's supposed to be. Because when you have a good team around you, a good family around you, that's just like us over here at the CDB network, man. Like all of us, if there's a sponsor, we're all like, hey, da da da. Like even myself recently, when I'm talking to a sponsor, I'm talking for the entire network now, not just
Right.
us. This is the very first one. Shit, I did it wrong. I knew I was gonna do it wrong. This first one, yeah, that was for us. Yeah, that was for us. Had to. But after that, it's been everything has been like I'm big up in the network. I'm talking about the fellas. So
But it's like you wanna uplift the people around you, and you wanna raise the tide of all the ships, and just tying that into something that I saw watching the Roman Reigns documentary that was on A&E this past Sunday. And Roman said, I did a lot of good trying to be great. And he said, he was like, you can judge me by like I raised the tides of most ships. Meaning like he tried to put everybody on it. Everybody involved in that bloodline storyline, he laid out why they were better off for being in that storyline, like where they were and where they were headed to after they interacted with him, and then where they were headed. And he even talked about like like Logan Paul or Kevin Owens or even his opponents.
Yeah, because look at Logan. Logan has done this,
bruh.
Even Sammy, he brought Sammy back. Sammy was dead in the water, and I hate to say that because I love Sami Zayn.
But
Sammy was dead in the water.
Thing. I'm not gonna say Sammy was dead in the water. I'm gonna say Sammy's character had evolved, and it was more of like this goofy conspiracy theory comedy. He was still getting TV time, and he was still being entertaining. He just wasn't being taken seriously. This brought Sammy back to relevancy as being like, let's take him seriously as a guy who could actually go out there and be a threat to win a match and look like he can kick somebody's ass instead of being this goofball. He went from one thing to the next, and then it was like, well, listen at how like just how much better he's playing. Like everything is going, like, take him serious. And so I just think that what Roman ended up doing was he did elevate everybody around him. And then he even put on extra people and stuff like that. And he just opened the door. And that's just kind of what we try to do, with ourselves. We just try to like uplift everybody, support everybody, like make sure everybody's good and whatnot. And we just try to make sure we do the best we can, not only for ourselves, but for the whole team. Whether it's the Susio boys, it's Aim High, the Four Corners of Commentary, Dre Lags, Shogun Soccer Sit Down. I finally got it right on the first try. Didn't have to do it. No matter what it is or any of the things that we have to come. I know A-Hunt has that. Him and Ron have that. The video game tournament. Damn, I can't never remember the name of it. But if you go and you follow him, oh gosh, let me hold up. I'm about to pull it up right now. Give me a second. You click on his profile so I can find it because I can't.
If you're in Ohio,
where is it? This the beauty of doing shit live. You fuck up some stuff. But okay, here it goes. It's the FC24 tournament. It's coming on Friday, this Friday, the 5th, at 4:00 at the Velocity Esports Arena. That's at 1 Levy Way Suite 2130 in Newport, Kentucky, actually, which I want to say is like right across from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah, it's like across the bridge type shit.
Yeah. It's like hold up. Bam. And bam. There we go. Got it. But make it big. There we go. But yeah, like check them out if y'all in the area or whatever. Um as we wrap it up, I ain't really got no rant.
Nope, no rant. Boxing was great this weekend. Shout out to Rolly getting his shit fucked up. Nigga. Pitbull. Hey, dog.
Bro, wait a minute. I gotta stop the music, bro. If you have never seen what CTE is something they could like, let's be serious for just 1 second before I get this fucking joke off. CTE cannot be diagnosed until you're dead because they have to take a cross section of your brain to actually diagnose you with CTE.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, if I have ever seen a walking case of CTE,
hey, bro, Pitbull used that nigga head as a fucking punching
bro.
bag. That last round before the stoppage,
Bro.
and I love the way the ref jumped in. Like most people would have been like, "Why the fuck did he stop it? Did you not watch the whole fight?" That nigga lost his legs in like the second round. To be honest with you, he didn't go down because he grabbed Rolly. I mean, he grabbed Pitbull and held on.
He that was the only way he was staying. He was literally like
he made it to the 9th round. I don't know how.
Like he literally held on for life.
I don't know how. Now that main event between Tim Tszyu and Fedora, oh my god, that was a John Moxley bloodbath. It was amazing though. So Tim Tszyu caught an elbow in the second round. I want to say accidental elbow. He kind of lunged himself into Fedora's elbow, but also Fedora is 6'6". You gonna catch an elbow, forearm, or something. That elbow didn't look like it was that bad though, because I'm like, how the fuck, like this big ass gash at the top of his head. And then I thought about it. I have been headbutted in a basketball game, and it wasn't a hard headbutt at all. It was a clash of like your heads hitting each other, but it wasn't crazy. And I cut my eyebrow really bad. I had a huge gash in my eyebrow.
It's like sometimes, but I want to say it's the sharpness of Fedora's elbow. Like his elbows kind of like point. Like I got them sharp ass elbows. Like if I was to hit somebody with an elbow in an MMA fight or something like that, I'd probably split them open or crush something or break something or whatever. But when you have that kind of pointed elbow and it hits you that hard at that kind of angle, and boxer's face is already tender because they used to getting hit in the face. So that kind of stuff is bound to happen. But man, I be goddamn boy, that boy Raleigh. Bro.
Yeah, it was a great weekend for boxing. So we know Terrence Crawford's next fight actually is going to be Fedora. The WBO is invoking the clause where he has to fight him. So Fedora is going to go off an amazing fight with Tim Tszyu, and then he got to get in the ring with Crawford, which is going to be different because again he's 6'6" with that reach that he got. Crawford really got to get in there, like he got to get in there. So Errol's, and I believe Errol's going to be fighting on that same card. I think they said because it was supposed to be Fedora and Errol, but they moved some stuff around. So Errol will be Fedora's second fight after his next two are pretty much going to be Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. Crazy. So you go from Tim Tszyu to Crawford to Spence is like a hell of a 3 fights. If he can at least get one of them two, at least one.
Sink or swim. And a lot of the times, boxing is like pro wrestling. Even if you lose, but you look good, you still win in the end.
Yeah, and for him, I think and I hate to say this because I love Crawford. He has a better chance of catching Crawford off guard than catching
Yeah.
Errol Spence coming off of what just happened. Like
Because
Spence will get one fight and then he'll fight Fedora. Fedora's next fight is gonna be Crawford. So it's like it's
what'll end up
crazy.
happening is Spence he'll be extra careful.
Yep.
And he'll fight real cautious. And because Fedora is so long and lanky and he's still young and kind of learning his body and learning the game, he'll fool around and make a couple of mistakes that Spence will be able to capitalize on. And that's what'll end up happening in a fight like that for him. But I just really think that if the kid is if they really like coach him up and
because he looked good. He looked really good against Sue.
He did. And
Tim Sue was trying to knock his ass out in that last round.
He was trying to but
I was shocked he won. I'm gonna be honest. I did not think he did enough for Tim Sue to lose his belts. But that's what happens when you leave it to the judges.
Man, you took the words out of my mouth. You took
that's why I grew up in boxing.
Took the words out my mouth.
The one thing my dad always taught me, the one thing coaches never leave that shit up to the judges, because once you do, it's out of your hands and it could go any way. And we ain't paying these judges, so as my dad used to say, look, I ain't greased their pockets, so you better go in there and do something.
Look here, like if you take care of business, you ain't got to worry about it. But I mean, it's just the way the cookie crumbles, man, in combat sports. But we didn't want to keep y'all too long tonight because both of us was tired as fuck.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, y'all saw me yawning.
We was just like, hey, it's time to go. So we cutting the short right at the 2-hour mark tonight. We will holler at y'all probably sometime this weekend. We may pop in and do at least a space or something for WrestleMania, a preview, a post show. We don't know it. If we feeling up to it, because I got some shit I got to do Friday and kind of Saturday morning that don't really want to do. Just got to get it done and get it over with. Pay respects and be out of there.
We appreciate y'all rocking out with us though. It's been these last couple weeks have been amazing in college basketball. We get down to the nitty-gritty this weekend. We got the WNBA draft coming up, so once again we are going to preview that next week. And we have the NFL draft coming up in a couple weeks, so now we're going to go into combines, and
I'm still working on that
pro days and
special guests. I'm gonna keep working, and hopefully we get it. But even if we could get it for like, bruh, just a few minutes, just a portion of your evening, kind sir. Like, I'm gonna keep working on it though, but we'll see.
Definitely. So there's a lot coming up in the next couple of weeks. NASCAR is in full swing. Also, MLB kicked off this weekend. We ain't really touch on that too much, but it kicked off over the weekend. So it's a lot coming up. Of course, y'all know we get into that one part of sports where it's like no basketball, no football. NBA is winding down, so we about to start the play-in tournament. God damn, couldn't even get that out. Yeah, the Masters also.
I was like, what are you talking about? Oh no.
Yeah. The in-season tournament. Damn, so I'm still doing it. The play-in tournament coming up.
7 through 10 shit.
Yeah, so you got the Masters. It's a lot in sports coming up that a lot of people don't find exciting, but
we do.
We do, and we gonna make it sound like it's the NFL, the NBA, all of it.
Soccer shit coming up this summer too.
Yeah, the Olympics. So that's the other part. The Olympics is this summer.
Olympics is this summer.
The Summer Olympics. So we actually are gonna have a little more to talk about this year.
God damn.
This being our first year. So it's a lot. It's a lot. We're gonna bring it to you. We're gonna make sure you're informed. You're up on it. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna talk shit.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna have a good time.
We're definitely gonna have a good time. But for my guy Keyz, I'm Jermaine. The Susio Sports episode 27 presented by the sponsor Gel Blasters. One time for the one time. We appreciate y'all over at Gel Blasters. We appreciate all the sponsors.
Put your ones up.
We appreciate
WrestleMania weekend, guys. Shout out to everybody that's gonna be in Philly this week. Fly Eagles fly.
All of y'all, man.
Y'all, I hate y'all, but I hate y'all in a good way because I have a good reason I can't be there. But shout out to everybody that's gonna be in Philly. WrestleMania is gonna be amazing this weekend. We'll even talk about that because that's gonna be a topic on Monday or Tuesday for us. But
hey, we gonna bring it to y'all. We're gonna have a good time and everything, and we're definitely going to get into some of it for sure. But like I said, we don't know if we're gonna do it Saturday, Sunday. We're gonna do it live. If we're gonna do it like I don't know. We may do a space. We may do something, but we will figure it out. But
we'll get it together. As long as you acknowledge us.
Yeah. I'm gonna fuck if you acknowledge Roman. I'm gonna fuck if you acknowledge Cody. I'm gonna fuck if you acknowledge Rock. I'm gonna fuck if you acknowledge none of them. You acknowledge Susio Sports, goddammit.
Acknowledge me. That shit is still funny every time.
Acknowledge it.